Well, the best of boys Southern Indiana High School basketball converge upon Columbus North High School this afternoon for the annual Hoosier Basketball Coaches Association All-Star Game right here on the ISC Sports Network. This afternoon's game from Columbus North is brought to us by Discover Daviess County. In Daviess County, we are all business, all in on business. Find out more at wearedaviesscounty.com. By First Harrison Bank, keep it easy, keep it local. Member FDIC. By the Indiana Sentinels. Professional hockey is coming to Columbus this fall. Scan the QR code on your screen to find out more. And by Mainstream Fiber. Visit msfiber.net and get the internet you deserve. Alongside Rob Moorhead, Rob Brown with you this afternoon for Game 2 of this HBCA All-Star Classic. Earlier today, Greg Rakestraw and Rob had the call on the girls' game that concluded about 20 minutes ago. The West All-Stars winning 87-81. Ella Bode of South Knox winning MVP honors in that one. Boys' game about to get going here. Just prior to us coming on air, the East All-Stars being introduced. West All-Stars about to be introduced. Actually, the East All-Stars. You're going to have to keep me straight on this, partner.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Rob Brown. We had the same trouble as we got started in game number 1. This one, I know the East is on the white and the West is in the blue, so I think it'll be a little bit easier. And I've actually got some connections on the East side, so I think I'll be able to keep them apart and understand who's who today. But I got you covered, my friend, and you'll do just fine.
We're going to keep this straight as we go through, but there is talent across the board on both of these rosters. 1,000-point scores, 20-point-per-game scores, college commits. We'll talk about all of those as we go through the afternoon. But maybe a couple things, Rob, that you've got your eye on for this afternoon's game.
Well, indeed, there are some state champs out here as well. Chance Coomer and Colby Hall both played for Brownstown Central's Class 3A. They're Class 3A this year. They were Class 2A state champions in 2024. We're missing the Jeffersonville crew. Michael Cooper, P.J. Douglas, Trey Singleton were all selected to play in today's game. They were unable to be here, but also on the East squad, you have 1A state champ from 2025, Rylan Crocker, representing Orleans. And great to see these guys who had their state championship also get a chance to come back out and play some more here in the HBCA All-Star Game. And so many guys who won sectional and regional championships as well. So it's a lot of fun to see him lace them up one last time here, at least for us in this particular All-Star Game.
I think going through the prep for this one, I counted up. Now, not everyone who would be in that count is here in the building today, but at least among the players who were selected to play in this game, to your point, there were 12 players selected to play in this game today who won a sectional title. And 8 players who won a regional title, 3 players who graduated as the all-time career scoring leaders. That's some impressive resumes on the floor here this afternoon.
It is indeed. One of those in the middle of your picture right there, number 21 out of South Ripley High School, which I'm a little partial to because of my day job, Rob. That is Cole Henry, who will be jumping center, all-time leading scorer in South Ripley history. Led the Raiders to a sectional championship this year in an outstanding matchup down at Southwestern Hanover. And I'll also go ahead and get out of the way my fatherly influence here, and that is my son Trent, the head coach of the Hauser Jets, is one of the coaches on the East squad today.
Henry won that tap against Colton Stowers of Washington High School. 3-pointers missed, and Stowers collects the rebound.
That was Josh Renfro out of Christian Academy on that attempt.
There's Ethan Edwards out of Clay City. Gets the game's first basket.
So let's say right now, what's your over-under on total points scored in this one, Rob?
I'm going to go 185 and take the over.
Yeah, I say if you're going 185, I'm going to take the over for sure as Cole Henry pulls up from 15, no good.
Now you'll notice on the graphic that because these players are all moving on to the collegiate level, at least those that have committed and those that are going to commit here in the coming weeks, we're going to play college rules. So we'll play 2 20-minute halves, 7 fouls rather to the bonus, 10 fouls to the double bonus. There's a long three out front that's knocked in by Chase Coomer out of Brownstown Central.
His coach, Dave Benter, also on the sideline for the East squad, along with South Ripley High School head coach Sevy Beach. Those 3 coaches were HBCA District Coaches of the Year for the East. Back over on the west side, it'll be Chris Ames out of Clay City and Lamar Brown out of Princeton as Coaches of the Year in their respective districts. And we got more points on the board, Rob.
Rylan Crocker hitting the three-pointer, so 2 quick threes for the East team, and East leads at 6-2, and back quickly the other way come the East squad.
Rylan Crocker, you mentioned, out of Orleans. They won that Class 1A state championship this year, and Rylan Crocker was a huge part of the success of Tom Bradley's squad for Orleans.
Hall lost the handle, and leaking out on the bucket the other end is Luke Elsperman out of Evansville Memorial High School, the Evansville Metro Player of the Year.
Played for Heath Howington. They won a sectional championship this year in the always tough Evansville area.
There's a deep three by Joshua Renfro out of Christian Academy.
Rob, I think he's on the way to play for the Marion University basketball program and Coach Pat Knight.
First time that Pat Knight will get a chance to go through the whole recruiting cycle.
Strong move by Luke Elsperman for the West.
Henry picked up by Edwards on the switch.
A lot of switching going on in these all-star games on the defense. So we noticed in the girls' game as it got closer, Cole Henry can make that, by the way, and he does.
Did not hesitate, did Henry. And already 4 3-pointers, all 4 field goals for the East squad coming from behind the line.
Cole Henry headed to IU East next year to continue playing basketball. Comes down with the rebound, kicks it out.
Outlet ahead to Renfro. Nice job by the West team to get back. And the over-under on how many times I will say that is a low number.
Yeah, I would say
way.
a very low number.
Getting back in an all-star game.
Through the middle of the game, at least. We noticed in that girls' game, Rob, as it stayed close and got in the last 5 minutes of the game, a one-possession game, and they were getting after it on the defensive end there. The West able to pull that one out by 6.
Renfro waits for the defense to clear and hits another three. Second three for Joshua Renfro.
Yeah, Hayden Casey had a heck of a player there at Christian Academy in the 1A class there with Academy, and they won back-to-back sectionals in 24 and 25, and East squad out to a big lead here to start.
Renfro was going to pull one from the volleyball line there for a second. Instead changed his mind. Henry tries a contested three that's missed. Stowers got a hand up. Elsperman pushes. Stowers running the floor. Got in too deep on the baseline and wields it back out. Edwards. Runner off the board, and Henry with a traffic rebound.
Yeah, I believe they're going to call that foul against number 23 on the West, Colton Stowers out of Washington. No, they did not call that. They called it out of bounds. It's an all-star game. There's very few fouls called, Rob. So Cole Henry carried that rebound out of bounds.
Elsperman misses the three. Outlet ahead to Renfro.
So you gave me the one over-under, and there's a turnover on points. What's the over-under on dunks we'll see today, Rob? That's a good question as well.
I think we'll see more than 5.
Okay.
More than 5. That'd be more of a second half number, I think. Stowers misses the three as we get more transition opportunities.
Should we give the disclaimer that this is for entertainment purposes only? We don't
Absolutely.
want anybody taking our real knowledge on betting advice here.
Renfro, the early scoring leader with 8. Edwards attacks the rim and could not get the roll. Hall clears it ahead. Renfro this time does pull up from the volleyball line and hits.
Impressive by Josh Renfro, and he's been impressive here to start this ball game.
10 points quickly for Renfro, half of the East total. Deflection, Henry's got it. Bounce ahead, running the floor, And finishing is Coomer.
I thought we were going to see our first dunk there, but again, the defense got back quickly to make Coomer have to bring that down and take it up to the rim strong with the right hand.
Edwards, the offensive rebound and the finish.
Going to have our first shift change here as the East full-scale substitution, and the West will do the same. So it looks like we got 5 on, 5 off. Actually, Cole Henry staying out there for the East, as they've only got 9 men on the squad.
10 dressed for the West, so the West can send in a full new 5. 9 available for the East team. Ryland Shrink of New Albany takes it into the paint.
It's funny, Rob, they all pretty well know how to run the 5-out circle motion as Cole Henry attacks to the right block. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And I think probably the AAU circuit, they run a lot of that kind of offense as well. And it's been interesting to see how well they are moving the ball here in the early going on both ends of the floor.
So Cole Henry steps to the line for the game's first free throws. Knocks in the first one.
Cole, a 4-year player for South Ripley, and as we said, became the all-time leading scorer in school history, breaking Cody Sample's record. Cody, now playing at Franklin College, will graduate this spring from Franklin after a fine career.
Jay Summit picked up that foul, and a quick 3 knocked in by, that's Vince Moutardier, excuse me.
Moutardier, easy for you to say, Rob Brown. I was
Vince
going with you. I like the
Vince
French pronunciation.
Moutardier with the 3. Henry with the block shot at the other end. 23-11 our score.
There's a good look at the coaches from the East, Dave Benter, Trent Moorhead, and Savvy Beach.
There we go. These are our 3 coaches. And we mentioned at the top, your son Trent, the coach at Hauser, leading Hauser to its best season since the Jets, as a 3 knocked in by Cam Craig. Since the Jets went to the state finals and won state back in 2006. And you couple that, Rob, with the season that South Ripley had. You talked about that earlier. And you tie in, your connection being the superintendent of schools, playing at South Ripley on a team that went to the semi-state. And you couple that also with the connection that your father, the Hall of Famer Gus Moorhead, had coaching at Versailles and then the consolidated South Ripley. That's a heck of a basketball season you have, my friend.
We had quite a year. We really did, Rob, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Appreciate the homework you did on that. As trying to follow up, Jay Summit had a basket last time down, couldn't make the 3. Here comes your first dunk. Cole Henry.
There's dunk number 1.
Taking it in for 2. I saw that enough throughout the course of the year that I knew that was coming when he got that lane to the basket. But, yeah, Rob, it was a lot of fun this year, quite honestly, seeing the success South Ripley had, the success Trent had, and then my older son, Brad, is a JV coach over at Martinsville as well. So we watch a lot of basketball in the Moorhead household and really enjoy every opportunity. And you want to talk about a heartbreaker with Hauser getting beat by Orleans and Crocker, Ryland Crocker, who's out here, is just fantastic in that semi-state to help them win. And that's a nice step-back jump shot right there by Ryland Shrink out of New Albany. 31-13, the East out to a big-time lead here in the early going.
East knocking in 3-pointers. There's a 3-point attempt missed by Niehaus.
Rob, doesn't make you wonder what it'd be like if the Jeffersonville guys were here as well.
There's Cole into the lane. Fletcher Cole out of Paoli. Missed the 3 short. And I know that by the time we come back around to it, and there's a 3-pointer knocked in by Landon Richardson out of Evansville Central. I know by the time we get to it next, we'll be into another basketball season, but given the season that just concluded for your family, it's going to take on a special, I think, feel, because I know I see it every year. I look forward to seeing the video every Christmas time of the free throws on Christmas Day in honor of the old ball coach.
You got it.
I'm looking forward to that.
I appreciate that, Rob. And, yeah, that just goes. And guys have been around basketball understand the saying that my dad had is East is going to get it out on a fast break here. Dad,
what a block shot by Niehaus.
Great job by Xavier Niehaus out of Castle on the block. So, again, something we may not say a lot of defensively, but Niehaus making a highlight play defensively right there.
Oh, we'll take another look at that.
Well done by the guys back in the truck. But, yeah, we'll tell that story here in a second as Thomas lights a three.
And there's Cole Thomas, who averaged almost 28 points a game for South Central High School.
Yeah, but Dad's saying was you ought to be able to get out of bed on Christmas morning to make 2 free throws. And I heard that all throughout my playing career, as there were times when I may have struggled from the free throw line, as that one's put up and in by Tate Whitehead out of Southridge, and quickly down court for the East, Rob.
Another three for Thomas. This one rattles out. Falling away. Thomas, though, in the lane with the putback from just in front of the rim. I look forward to that video every Christmas.
So that came about. So my father passed away in December of 2009, and just a week before Christmas. And my oldest son, Brad, said, you know what, Dad, in honor of Paul, we ought to go out and shoot 2 free throws every morning on Christmas. And we started that tradition in 2000. I said 2009. It's actually 2008 when he passed away. So we started that on Christmas 2008 and have done it religiously ever since. Nice putback there by Xavier Niehaus to make it 36-18. So, yeah, we have a great time with that, and it's very competitive, especially between the two boys. They want to be the one who made the free throws in the least amount of opportunities. So Cam Craig out of Switzerland County, he's going to go play at Mount St. Joe for Toby Kerrigan next year. Cam Craig, a 1,000-point scorer down at Switzerland County, Rob, had a heck of a career there for Travis Reitzman. They won a sectional championship in 2024 there at South Ripley, and it was a last-second turnaround jumper by Cam Craig that gave them the win over Hauser in that sectional championship game.
There's a steal by Fletcher Cole, pushing all the way, and another block by Niehaus. Thomas is open for the kick-out three, long.
Got to watch Fletcher Cole play for Paoli in a Christmas tournament down at Switzerland County this year. Played for his father, Dusty Cole, there at Paoli in Class 2A. They had a nice ball club this year. They won a sectional back during Fletcher's, would have been his freshman season back in 2022.
Fletcher going to play at Oakland City.
Staying in state. Like to see that.
Shrink lost the handle on the stop-and-go move.
See if the West can go on a little run here and get themselves back in this one. Speaking of runs, how about that runner?
Tate Whitehead with his second bucket.
Cuts it to 19.
Shrink's step back is good.
That's a tough shot. Rylan Shrink, the left-hander out of New Albany, played for Jason Jones. When he put that shot up, I didn't think it was a real good shot, but, man, he got just enough on it.
Summit's three is too strong. Rebound, pick up loose on the floor. Niehaus has it. And it's tossed in.
Another substitution timeout here for the East.
Well, while the subs come in, I'll remind you quickly that let First Harrison Bank introduce you to the Banking Butler, your ultimate digital banking companion. Whether you're at home or on the go, our Banking Butler makes managing your finances easy. Keep it easy. Keep it local. Member FDIC. And First Harrison Bank congratulates Cole Thomas of South Central on playing in today's game. Back to action we go. East team leading by 19, 41-22.
Nice pass. Good cut to the basket that time also by Tate Whitehead off the feed from Landon Richardson.
Hall hoists the three in the corner. Mutardier's got the rebound, pulls into a three and hits. Mutardier hits the three, his second, 8 points for Vince Mutardier.
You ever heard of that guy he played for, a guy named J.R. Holmes?
Won a few games. More than a few.
More than a few. J.R. has done it for a long time at Bloomington South.
Niehaus with a couple of spectacular blocks. Cross-court pass. Can't find the assist. The West team, though, has chipped it back to 14.
Yeah.
After being down 22. And Niehaus flies in with an acrobatic tip.
Yeah, it's a great job by Niehaus to time up that miss and get in there and get a tip in to cut it down to 12. They could make this single digits. They can get another defensive stop, and they get it.
Summit's got the rebound. Cut off in the lane is Summit. Richardson for three, he knocks it in.
And it is now single digits. Going to be a game of runs, Rob.
9-point game. But right back, that's a big three to stop the run by Rylan Crocker.
Yeah, he just made consistent 3 after 3. That when I got to see him play in the semi-state and then in the state finals, Rylan, the moment's never too big for that young man. He is as good a shooter as they come.
And just the second shooting foul of the game is called. Crocker takes it, and that will put Mudadir on the line. Now 6:18 to go here in the half. Mainstream Fiber continues to expand throughout Southern Indiana, including Gibson and Harrison counties. You can sign up now for a direct connection to fast, reliable fiber internet. No slowdowns at peak times. Visit msfiber.net and get the internet you deserve. And Mainstream Fiber wants to congratulate Cole Thomas of South Central for playing in today's game. First free throw is good, second as well. Colton Stowers returns, as does Ethan Edwards. Both free throws good. Mudadir with both free throws knocked in. It's a 10-point game. Deep three by Renfro, and he hits again. Boy, Renfro had 10 early.
The only thing that stopped him was the break he had to take on substitutions.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets back in, he's getting back to his scoring ways. Nice follow that time.
Stowers, his first two.
We talked about him before the game. He's headed to Wabash.
Drive and kick, Crocker. No space to shoot. Long three is short. Deep three missed by Jenkins. Chase Jenkins out of Princeton. It's his first shot attempted of the game. Drive and flip off the window from Coomer.
Yeah, nice job by Coomer, taking it right down the right side of the lane. Using the extension with that right hand. There's a long three, Rob Brown, by Shane Sims.
I think it's the first shot attempted by Sims and made that look easy.
Back-to-back sectional championships for Evansville Harrison. He's headed to Eastern Illinois next year.
Play for Marty Simmons.
Remember that name. Marty's still recruiting that Evansville area hard.
Oh yeah, working it.
Got some connections down that way. Nice move by Crocker.
Crocker stop and go, got to the rim and finished.
That's the thing about Rylan, not just a three-point shooter, all-around player.
2 straight threes, no. Long off the back of the rim. It comes right back to Elsperman. His three's no good. Edwards, strong rebound in the lane, finishes.
About the jump hook from the Clay City player. Aren't they the Eels?
They are indeed the Eels.
Played for Chris Ames. They were also defeated by Rylan Crocker and Orleans in the semi-state there at Seymour. They made it to the night game.
School record for wins for Clay City, 26 wins. First ever #1 ranking. Henry's back in and immediately flips in the offensive rebound.
Yeah, nice job by Cole staying active inside. Cole Henry can score inside, can score outside. He's a nice driver, and he can put on a highlight reel with his dunks.
Three by Henry is good. So 5 quick ones for Henry. Back into the ball game. Obviously, Rob, with your connections working in the school district at South Ripley, you've seen Cole Henry all the way through his high school career. This is my first time seeing him live.
Yeah,
I'm immediately taken by how long he is.
Yes.
And you look at his body type, and the first thing that strikes me is how much more effective he'll be. He's already effective, obviously, but how much more effective he'll be once you put him in a college weight room.
Absolutely. And Cole has worked hard. He's a farm boy. He's a hardworking kid, and he's worked hard in our weight room to get the physique that he has right now. But I agree with you 100%. When he gets to that next level and they continue to work with him, I think his upside is huge. Just tremendous ceiling, and I think IU East got themselves a good one. And I'm a little biased on that, I will admit.
We accept any and all disclaimers. That's all right. 56-43 in the lane, poked free. And it will stay with the West squad. East is led throughout, led by as much as 23. West got it down to 9. Lead stands at 13. Sims pull up from just beyond the foul line. And Coomer corrals the rebound. Coomer pull up short.
Yeah, Coomer passed it up when he was about at the volleyball line, took one more dribble, and decided to pull up top of the key. He couldn't get it to go.
Well, for the first time, professional sports are coming to Columbus and Bartholomew County. Indiana Sentinels hockey will be fast-paced, hard-hitting, and every game will have a pregame party. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more about your favorite team in Columbus.
Nice little turnaround fadeaway by Chance Coomer.
Coomer with 9. And fight for the loose ball. It's picked up in the corner. Fading and hitting. That's a 3 from Jace Jenkins.
Out of Princeton. Played for Coach Lamar Brown, who's his coach this afternoon as well. They won a regional this past year, Rob.
Knocked out of the tournament by Crispus Attucks.
You know, back to Chance Coomer. Here's a young man who spent a lot of time up on the ladder. Sectional championship when he was a freshman. Won a regional in 23, the state in 24, won a regional again in 25. So all 4 years of postseason success.
There's dunk number 2. That one comes from Colton Stowers. 6 points for Stowers. Pull up 3 by Thomas is good. Second 3 of the game for Thomas. 64-48. Elsperman is fouled.
Little stop and go move that time for Elsperman. I thought he might go in and try to take the layup, but he was looking to pass. Got fouled on the floor.
Sims,
quick release.
Quick 3 by Sims is good.
Yeah, impressed by that quick release of Shane Sims.
(64-51). Stop and go, drive and finish from Fletcher Cole, his first 2.
Yeah, if you watch Paoli at all this year, you saw a lot of that from Fletcher Cole. Tremendous shot creator. Nice follow that time for Ethan Edwards.
Edwards doing all his work around the rim. 8 first half points. Long 3 by Henry is off the back of the rim. Volleyball line 3 from Cole, kicks short.
These last couple of minutes have a late in the open gym feel right now.
I was going to say St. Barnabas Men's League on a Sunday night. Thomas 3 is good.
I like that reference even better.
Thomas, his third 3, 11 points for Cole Thomas.
Headed to IU Southeast, had 52 in a game this year,
That's
Rob.
Strong. That is strong. Scored almost 2,000 points. Corner 3 from Stowers.
See if we get a half-court shot here. Nope. Full court.
Full court, just wide of the mark by Jenkins, and that'll do it. 69-56 our score. East on top by 13. We'll take a break. Halftime activities from Columbus North next, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Buffering, slow downloads, lag. Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet.
When I was a little girl, I always knew that Davies County was home. We grew up in East Germany. When the wall came down, we took our chances for travel. We moved to the United States. The first 5 years went so fast.
And after 10 years, it is 30 years by now, and we are still here in Davis County as home.
The two things that make companies successful is money and talent. And if you never run out of talent, you'll never run out of money. So it never dawned on me to set up our company anywhere different than Daviess County, Indiana.
I started playing music at a young age, and I've traveled around the country, but I moved to Montgomery in 2015, and the more of the world that we get to see and the more opportunities that open up for us, there's really still just no place like coming home.
So at Artisan Electronics, we support the Navy all across the world from our location here in Daviess County at the West Gate at Crane Technology Park. And just as important to our location are the people that we employ to support the warfighter. We find the people here in Central Indiana be top-notch quality of talent.
It's just a strong community.
For the last 182 years, Daviess County has been home for our families. And to see my children raise their children on the property here, it really makes the guy feel good.
Up in Indianapolis, I found myself working. Down here, there's more of a work-family balance. I think that was the biggest draw, is that I could still practice my orthopedics at a very high level. However, I still was able to coach my kids, get the ball games, be involved in all activities.
It was very important for us that no matter what our children do, what they become, where they go to college, that they get every opportunity that we can give them, and I knew that they would get that at Daviess County from preschool to 12th grade.
If you can find a place like Washington, a place that's this close, that you have people that support you and you support them, and you can make a difference to people, you know, that's what I love about coming back home and being here, and that's why I always want to stay.
So now when people ask why Daviess County, it's all because of the people.
We are.
We are. We are.
We are.
Daviess.
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 Daviess. Daviess.
Daviess County.
Buffering, slow downloads, lag. Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Buffering, slow downloads, lag. Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet.
Give me three! Why are you here?
Sports in general is just for anybody.
Good work. First down.
Seeing, girls flag football is pretty awesome.
Now there are 13 sanctioned states in high school girls flag, and then you add on that it's going to be an Olympic sport at the next Olympics, which is huge. I think it's a really exciting time to jump in and be at the forefront of this.
1, 2, 3.
Rob Brown, Rob Moorhead. And get a look at the East coaches. Trent Moorhead, hands in pockets. Hauser coach, son of my partner, Rob Moorhead.
He's a little thinner than his dad is, Rob. He keeps himself in pretty good shape, so I'm very proud of him. Of course, over to the right is Sevy Beach. Over to the left is David Venter. In the background, you can see Josh Thompson from Bar Reeve, along with Pat Rady. Pat Rady, the president of the HBCA, and has a lot to. Both those gentlemen have a lot to do with today's games. Pat Rady and Josh Thompson. So great to see these coaches all working together to provide this opportunity for the teams.
There's a lot of players. There's a lot of wins in that picture.
Indeed, and on the
there's
west side.
There's Lamar Brown right there at Princeton.
Out of Princeton, along with Chris Ames. I don't know where Chris is right now at Clay City, but he might be over there talking to the other gentleman. But Lamar Brown in Princeton, they had a nice year this year as well. We congratulate him on being a district coach of the year, being here to coach today.
Back at it we go. Start this second half. East team walking it up, leading by 13. In that first half, the East team led by Joshua Renfro with 14 points. Right behind him, Chase Coomer with 12. Cole Thomas with 11. Cole Henry with 10. West team led by Vince Mutadir with 10 and Ethan Edwards with 10. East team hit 16 three-pointers in that first half. And another block shot by Niehaus, his third.
You're looking at Colby Hall out of Brownstown, number 3 there in white. That's a big young man, Rob. And I don't get to see Brownstown play in person a lot, but I'm impressed. Colby's got some great size to him.
Yeah, both Colby Hall and Chase Coomer talked with Dave Benner early in the week. They're closing in on making a college decision. And wherever those two young men land, they're gonna, those schools are gonna get excellent players.
Jay Summit with a 3 for the West to cut this lead to 10.
Jay Summit going to head to Lakeland College in Illinois with the JUCO route. Niehaus with a bucket, so 5 quick points for the West.
Niehaus attacking the basket over Cam Craig that time. Nice move by Niehaus.
Renfro's 3 is no good. The flip shot is short. Rebounded, though, by Craig. Elbow jumpers off the mark, and Summit's got the rebound.
Yeah, we had talked about Chance Coomer being on the ladder an awful lot. Colby Hall would have been right there with him. Of course, those guys had the nice opportunity of playing with Jack Benter, who's now at Purdue. And of course, Jack's father, David, over on the sidelines, one of the best coaches in Indiana, as Crocker nails the 3.
Third 3 of the game for Crocker, and he's the 6th player. Make that the 5th player on the East squad to get to double figures. Foul called.
Dave Benner, an All-American at Hanover College. So he and I have one thing in common. We both played basketball at Hanover.
There you go.
But the other thing, I was not an All-American, and he was. He was an impressive player. I think at one time, all-time scorer in Hanover history.
I believe he was. Well, welcome to the Indiana communities thriving along the I-69 corridor, offering recreation, sports, arts, and culture in Davies County. We are all in on business, and we wish to congratulate Seth Wagler of Bar Reeve and congratulate Colton Stowers of Washington for being named to play in today's game. Find out more by logging on to wearedaviescounty.com.
Crocker, nope, that was going to come up short. Good hustle.
Renfro volleyball line 3 is short. And Niehaus with the rebound, outletting ahead to Richardson. Finger roll up and in.
Nice job by Richardson at Evansville Central. Going up high with the right hand from the left side. It's an 8-point ball game.
Summit got a piece. Niehaus has another rebound.
Summit thought about the 3, now on the attack.
Got his own miss.
Yes,
Did Summit?
Summit stayed with it. Good for him to make this a 6-point game. It's close as it's been all day, Rob.
East trailed by 23, or West trailed by 23 at one point. Renfro fades and scores.
Renfro getting back to doing what he does, and that's scoring the ball.
Niehaus gets the tap out and hits from 15.
Yeah, good hustle by Jay Summit following his miss. Kept it alive. Go to work, big fella.
Craig backing away. Niehaus got a piece. That's the 4th block shot. for Niehaus. Whitehead in the lane hits the runner.
And now it's 4.
Wow.
West on a little bit of a run here.
It was 38-15 at one point early in the first half. And a foul called on Whitehead.
Yeah, Ryan Shrink out of New Albany will head to the free throw line. Shrink showed himself to be a gritty player here in this afternoon's contest. The left-hander will toe the line.
Shrink's first free throw rolls good. Mainstream Fiber continues to expand throughout southern Indiana, including Gibson and Harrison counties. You can sign up now for a direct connection to fast, reliable fiber internet. No slowdowns at peak times. Visit msfiber.net and get the internet you deserve. And Mainstream Fiber wants to congratulate Cole Thomas of South Central for playing in today's game.
Ryland Shrink makes them both to extend the lead to 6. East with a defensive rebound, trying to extend the lead a little bit more in this possession.
Richardson with the rebound, surveying.
We'll see shift changes coming here any moment on the next dead ball. The East already has their subs at the bench.
Renfro, shot short. Whitehead on the pull-up, short.
I think your 185 is going to be woefully low on your
Woefully
over-under.
Woefully low, not even close. Renfro rolls it off.
Unless the shooting percentages go way, way down.
Niehaus from outside hits.
Nice shot by Niehaus.
3-point game.
Niehaus played for Brian Gibson out of 4A Castle. Close as this game has been since the early going. Rob, as we've talked before the game, as many times as you and I have been in the same press box, we have never been paired up on a broadcast until this afternoon.
Indeed a first.
We appreciate Greg Rakestraw for making that happen.
Indeed a first. Rebound taken the other way by Jace Jenkins. Stowers takes it to the rim and finishes.
Nice strong finish by Stowers too. I thought he might go up and dunk that. Cole Henry came over to challenge. Stowers thought he got fouled, and he may have, but able to finish as Henry's going to step out for a 3.
And hit.
Cole Henry showing his range today. Go ahead, brother.
I thought halfway to the rim, I thought Stowers was going to go up and try and punch it down. Edwards, strong move down the baseline. Henry challenged and commits the foul.
So Ethan Edwards out of Clay City with a strong move. And if we do look over at the bench, Chris Ames is back over there now with Lamar Brown. When we were looking at the coaches earlier on, Chris was having a conversation. I think he would have been over there talking with the HBCA directors, but you see just out of your view there, Chris Ames is right to the right of Lamar Brown.
Almost tapped in on the deflection. Stowers collects the offensive rebound, and the 3 is missed. Edwards, though, not boxed out, puts it up and in. So it's a 3-point trip for Edwards, and it's a 1-point game. Cole shovels to Henry, and Henry fouled on the pass.
Yeah, that's one they probably wish wasn't called, because on the kick-out pass, Crocker able to put it in from the wing, but to no avail.
Deep 3 spins off. And the West can grab the lead with a bucket. Pull up in the lane is good, and the West is on top on the lane jumper by Sims.
Yeah, nice jump shot that time by Sims. Got some good extension on that. Nice spin move.
Cole hits it.
Watch Cole do that. When I saw Paoli play this year, said he's a creator, an excellent shot creator and scorer.
Stowers from out front hits.
Little step back 3 As Scott Van Pelt would say, step back, Bobby Jack.
Thomas from the corner, short. Jenkins outlets ahead to Stowers. Running the lane, Edwards with steam down the paint, missed it. And Thomas heads the other way.
West with their first lead of the ball game.
Corner three is short. Edwards. Elsperman with a nice bounce to Sims. Sims in the double figures with 10, and the West lead is 4.
Nice feed, nice unselfishness by Elsperman.
Thomas. Cole gets it back. Thomas dribbles into a three and hits.
Good look. Good look
three
by
for Thomas.
Cole Thomas, played for B.J. Aldridge at South Central, another powerhouse down in 1A. South Central, Clay City, Orleans, some good 1A basketball down. Of course, you always got Lagodi and Bar Reeve, North Davies, some good basketball schools down in Southwest Indiana.
1 point game nearing the halfway mark of the second half.
And you mentioned Linton Stockton.
A little too uptight was Jenkins committing the foul.
See if East can get this lead back and go on a run of their own here.
Henry in the corner. Works baseline against Edwards and draws a foul.
Yeah, that's Cole Henry showing his versatility there. We've seen him make several three-point shots this afternoon, but Cole also very much a slasher, able to get to the rim. And again, you get him open you get him free in the open court, and he will rim rattle.
A great crew working with us today. Vince Morellis, our director. Kyle Donlin handling the replays. Ian Wheeler, Eric Connect, and Charlie Hammock on the cameras this afternoon here from Columbus North.
That's 5 for Henry here in the second half. So he makes good on both free throws, gives East the lead again.
15 in the game for Henry. Sims dribbled into a double team. Elsperman run off the line and dribbles into a 16-footer.
What about a nice build? Elsperman, broad-shouldered young man.
Also going to play at Wabash.
Wabash getting a couple good ones out of this game. Cole going to work.
Thomas cut off. Crocker's three is too strong, and Stowers watches it head out of bounds. Sims, quick catch and shoot three, hits.
Nice job by Sims.
7.5 for Sims, 13 in the game. Henry got going before the ball was ready to go with him.
Lost his footing, and the jump ball will keep it here with the East. Cole gets up a little gimpy, but I think he's all right. Going to take more than that to get him off the floor during an all-star game.
Thomas. Henry short from out front. Elsperman waits for the trailing Sims, steps into another three. That one's short. Tap out to Cole. Has trailers. Put it up, no. Henry's got the deep rebound. Puts it up and in on the underside.
Yeah, nice job on the reverse by Cole Henry. Felt the pressure behind him. Spun and went with his strong hand on the left side off the glass for two.
Jenkins turns into a three. Missed it. Henry up to get it. Henry trailing, missed the three.
Inside 10 minutes to play in the final quarter of this one.
And Jenkins hits a long one.
Big shot by Jace Jenkins out of Princeton to make the lead 5. That's the West's biggest lead of the contest.
Coomer drives into traffic, missed it short. Now there's Sims leaking out on the hit ahead from Elsperman and a timeout.
Like a substitution timeout for the East. They got 4 substitutes waiting to come in.
Sims has 9.5, 15 in the game.
West choosing to keep their powder dry. Going to leave their subs on the sideline for a few more minutes. Maybe looking for a strategic advantage here. Get those legs rested, make a final push as they're up by 7.
95-88. Thomas tries one. Missed the 3.
Yeah, the East has gone cold from the 3-point stripe here in the second half. Nice pass, nice cut.
Stowers finds it and scores.
Elsperman on the assist.
Well, to your point, Rob, after hitting 16 threes in the first half, the East has hit just 3 here in the first 12 minutes of half number 2.
That was Colby Hall trying that one. Probably didn't shoot a lot of those.
Whoa, Jenkins from way out.
And they're the first team to hit 100.
Whoa.
And open up a 12-point lead, the first double-digit lead of the ball game for the West.
Now, I don't know if this applies to all-star games, Rob, but when I worked in the NBA, I worked for the Clippers, and they had a broadcaster named Ralph Lawler who was the voice of the Clippers for over 40 years, and he came up with a pro basketball axiom called Lawler's Law, which stated that the first team to 100 always wins.
Well, let's see if his words ring true in the final 8 minutes here. And Rob, your over/under number was 185, and just for the record, we have eclipsed that already as we now go up to 187. No, make it 190.
Now, I don't know if Lawler's Law applies in a high school basketball all-star game where defense is optional. I'm not sure if that's the case.
I think it was optional at times in the NBA.
Well,
was it
also
not, my
true.
friend?
Also true. You raise an excellent point. Fading for 3, too strong, is Renfro. Boy, the West energy is palpable.
It is. And that they did just make a substitution and got some fresh legs in there.
But the difference in this second half, the West has gotten so many easy opportunities in transition.
East
in the second half.
They have indeed. East unable to get back on defense, or unwilling maybe is the word in the All-Star game.
I don't know about that, but yeah, the West has gotten points in transition, and to your point from earlier, as Hall hits a much-needed bucket on the baseline, the East has gone cold from three-point range.
Indeed.
And I know you and I have heard it so many times over the years calling basketball games. Sometimes early three-pointers made can become fool's gold late in games.
Mm-hmm. And today would be a good example of that. Nice putback, good hustle.
Summit with the bucket. Summit with 7.5.
I think Hall maybe took a
he might have
finger to the eye or something, and
might have gotten poked in the right eye. And Hall will come out.
Cole Henry checks back in. The East needing to mount a comeback here, finds themselves trailing by 14.
Hard to fathom when the East was up 38-17 here in the first half when those three-pointers were flying. Richardson takes the foul. As Henry drives the lane, we'll remind you that tonight's game is brought to us by the Indy Sentinels Hockey Club. For the first time, professional sports are coming to Columbus and Bartholomew County. Indiana Sentinels hockey will be fast-paced, hard-hitting, and every game will have a pregame party as Cole Henry scores and is fouled. Scan the QR codes on your screen to learn more about your new favorite team in Columbus.
Give Cam Craig credit on that possession. Cam getting on the floor, protecting the basketball, finding Cole Henry, and Cole on a nice spin move in the paint, able to score through contact, now looking for the three-point play, and he has it.
Henry with 10 here in the half, 20 in the game, leads all scorers. 104-63. Thomas takes the defender to the baseline and scores.
So 5 straight points by the East, and now they get a steal. The East trying to mount a comeback here.
Still plenty of time left. Down the baseline attacking, and Niehaus, by my count unofficially, that's the 5th block for Niehaus. And the second wedgie.
It is indeed. Rake and I talked about that earlier on with the ball getting caught in there. Rake believes that automatically ought to be what happened right here, is that it goes possession to the other team, and it actually operates off the alternating possession rule. Look ahead, you'll get another dunk from Cole Henry.
Henry to the basket. Defender was there, so Henry had to take the sure way and lay it in, but Henry leading all scorers with 22. Pull up in the lane is good for Mudadier.
Nice job by Mudadier, and that's a hard hit to the ground, as for the east side, Josh Renfro immediately grabbed his lower back as he hit hard. Coming up, trying to get in position was Whitehead to force a steal. And looks like Renfro's going to be helped up, and he's all right. I think the initial shock of the hit might have been worse after all. Here you're going to see it. Nothing dirty at all there. Tate Whitehead just trying to make a play for his team, and fortunately, Renfro able to walk off under his own power.
Well, Renfro coming out, but something you don't see a lot in all-star games, the West team is over the foul limit. That's something I did not expect to hear myself say today.
So interestingly enough, Chance Coomer gets to go to the free throw line as he checked in, because it would have been
Renfro at the foul line.
And so Chance Coomer comes in. Dave Benner knows he's a good free throw shooter. Chance Coomer goes in and knocks them both in. 106-99, 7-point advantage for the West.
East chipping back.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes, if this is close, I think it'll get very competitive.
Whitehead finds Summit in the corner for three, no good. And Craig secures the rebound. There is an athletic trainer here provided by Columbus North on site. Craig gets in deep, makes it a 5-point game.
Yeah, just maybe the leading scorer in Switzerland County history, shows you why right there. As Cam Craig works his back to the basket, finds the shot opportunity.
Whitehead had it stripped free, but it'll stay at the west end.
That's one, if this were an NCAA game, Ryland Shrink would be wanting the review, but it's not in the last 2 minutes. He would have wanted the review. He thinks he knocked that off of the West player's leg, but not to be the case.
Summit into the lane, fading short. And Henry hustling with Niehaus. It'll go back to the East.
So big possession here for the East, trailing by 5. Potential to make this a one-possession game.
Coomer down the baseline, and another block shot by Niehaus. My goodness. I've got him for 6.
Brian Gibson taught some defense down there at Gibson Southern. Xavier Niehaus working hard.
5-point game.
Oh.
Cole tight roping the timeline.
That's athletic and agile right there for Cole to make that catch with his momentum. And here comes Henry.
Henry challenged Niehaus at the rim and draws the foul.
Yeah, to finish my point there, Rob, Cole, I thought was going to fall into the backcourt, but able to keep his position and able to find Cole Henry on the baseline. Cole Henry goes to the free throw line.
That's a gamble, Rob, because a lot of times players will get near that timeline and they'll just they'll drift into the backcourt and let that ball bounce and just go get it, knowing they can go backcourt.
That would have been a steal going the other way had Cole decided to do that. But Cole Henry steps up, makes 2 free throws. It's a one-possession ball game.
Well, the East had trailed by 14 and it has now cut it to 3. This is a game of dramatic swings, and Mudadier hits a deep 3. 15 for Mudadier.
Good-looking shot for Mudadier, too. A big 3. Put him back on top by 6.
Cole, turnaround shot in the lane, rolls off the rim, and Niehaus up high to get the rebound. A bounce to Mudadier running the floor, and the pass just a shade too low.
Give it right back to the East. Nice jump shot that time on the East for Ryland Shrink out of New Albany. Mutadir in the paint, rolls it home. Mutadir, a strong move with the right hand, dribbling out to the elbow, squaring his shoulders and knocking it down. 111-105. Cole Henry going to work, little jump hook. Nice feed that time to Henry from Chance Coomer. East hanging around, trailing by 4.
And Henry leading all scorers with 26. Whitehead in deep and fouled on the way up by Crocker.
Tate Whitehead out of Southridge showing a little quickness that time. That's going to put the East over the foul limit as well and send Whitehead to the free throw line. Southridge sectional champs last year during Tate Whitehead's junior season, playing for Ryan Haywood. First free throw good.
.252 to go. Well, welcome to the Indiana communities thriving along the I-69 corridor, offering recreation, sports, arts, and culture in Davies County. We are all in on business and wish to congratulate Seth Wagler of Bar Reeve and Colton Stowers of Washington for being named to play in today's game. Find out more by logging on to wearedaviescounty.com.
Cole Henry gets to the glass. Good defense that time for the West by Ethan Edwards. Henry unable to finish. And coming back the other way, Elsperman gets the basket to make it an 8-point advantage. Nice pass, nice give there. Unselfish play that time. Shane Sims hands it off to Stowers.
Stowers leads the West with 18. Deep three is short. And that's a foul on Cole. So Colton Stowers of Washington leads the West with 18 points. 1:58 to go.
So I guess they're not over the foul limit. That must have been a shooting foul last time, because on this foul against the East, the West will inbound under their own basket. So my bad on that misspeaking earlier.
They're only on 4. Meanwhile, the West team has 8. (117-107). 1:45 to go. Elsperman too strong, but the rebound run down by Sims.
Yeah, I will give the West credit for their offensive rebounding this second half as well. It seems like they've gotten multiple second chance opportunities.
Stowers lost the handle, but it rolls to Elsperman. Elsperman twisting, lays it up and in. Whoa.
A nice little reverse layup for Elsperman.
And the lead is 12.
Yeah, with 1:14 to go, the West a chance to just close this one out.
Stowers drive and kick. Elsperman, long one is good.
Yeah, and that's a shot in a regular game. If you're nursing that kind of lead with a minute to go, you're probably not taking that three. In an all-star game, not only are you going to take it, but Elsperman says, I'm going to hit it.
Cole turns and got the roll. And Edwards put it in and drew the foul.
Yeah, nice job by Ethan Edwards, able to finish through the contact from Cole Henry, and Edwards goes to the free throw line.
And that should put a cap on it.
Well, Rob, the other number, you said 5 on the dunks, and we did unfortunately come under on that one.
We did not get there. We did not get there.
I think we only had 2.
We only had 2. But you got to give credit to the West team, who trailed by 23 early, to come back and secure this win. As Cole Henry gets to the lane, flips it in, and draws the foul. Henry's going to be the game's leading scorer.
Yeah, and you look at this play by Henry. He is a right-handed player, and there he is finishing with the left. And I think that's why IU East has to be really pleased with what they're getting in the player of Cole Henry. We've seen him make threes today, attack the basket, play with his back to the basket, going right hand, going left hand. Couldn't get that free throw to go down, but has had a nice ball game.
Henry has 28, but the West is going to win this game as Sims shoots the pull-up. Stowers lost the handle, and ironically enough, Stowers lost the handle, but Colton Stowers with 18 points is the leading scorer for the West team today, and Colton Stowers, Rob, is going to be our blue-collar player of the game, leading a multiple double-figure effort for this West team.
Yeah, and Stowers coming in out of Washington, heading to Wabash College, did a nice job. He played gritty all day long, played very aggressive, attacked the basket. I was impressed with the young man from the early going, and congratulations to Colton Stowers being the player of the game here for the winning team, and great job by our guys back in the truck for our blue-collar player of the game.
Stowers did have, you talked about dunks, he did have one of our 2 dunks today, and Stowers also hit 2 threes. 9 points in the first half, 9 points in the second half, again to lead 8 players in double figures in this 125-111 West victory.
So they're announcing most valuable player out on the floor, and they're going to go with the leading scorer in the game, even though his team didn't win the game. Cole Henry taking home most valuable player honors. What'd you say, Robbie, had 28 points?
28 points, the leading scorer. But, yes, our blue-collar player of the game, again, Colton Stowers of Washington High School, again, brought to us by our Boilermakers Local 374. Become a union Boilermaker and be on your way to a great career. Find out more when you log on to local374.org. And here's some Cole Henry highlights out of South Ripley High School as well.
Indeed, and we're awfully proud of Cole Henry. All of us at South Ripley, here's his impressive dunk, and we saw a lot of those over the last 4 years out of Cole. Here he is finishing on a spin. We talked about him using his left hand so well earlier on, and again, heading to IU East. Young man's going to have the opportunity to have a very nice playing career there, and I don't know, maybe the real MVP are the guys back in the truck having those highlight packages all ready to go, Rob.
They were ready to go. So we got in the highlights of both. We were low on the dunks. We said 5. We only had 2. But the 2 players who had the dunks today, Colton Stowers and Cole Henry, we got the highlights in for both of those players. That'll about do it here from Columbus North. Partner, it was great working with you today. It was a pleasure.
Likewise, my friend. Hope we get to do it again, Rob. Always a pleasure.
Will do. That'll about do it here from Columbus North High School. On behalf of our entire crew, I'm Rob Brown. It's been a presentation of the ISC Sports Network. Again, our final as the West wins the HBCA All-Star Game 125-111. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Buffering, slow downloads, lag. Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Buffering, slow downloads, lag. Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet. Buffering, slow downloads, lag. Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet.
Give me 3. Why are you here?
Sports in general is just for anybody.
Good work. First down.
Seeing, girls flag football is pretty awesome.
Now, there are 13 sanctioned states in high school girls flag, and then you add on that it's going to be an Olympic sport at the next Olympics, which is huge. I think it's a really exciting time to jump in and be at the forefront of this.
1, 2, 3.
Buffering, slow downloads, lag. Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet. Buffering? Slow downloads? Lag? Not on our watch. Get powerful high-speed internet with Mainstream. Plans start at just $35 a month because you deserve better internet.